Hello, hello, hello. Waiting for some students to join and then we can start. Hi,
Hello.
welcome back. Julie is the first one.
Yes, I see.
Okay, I'm sure we can get more people today.
Thank you.
So, how's it going, Julia? Or how has it been going?
I'm fine. I work really hard this week.
You have been
I
working hard?
yes. I don't use task, and I use only little pictures, and I
Hmm.
talk only with little pictures chunk,
Yep.
and it was hard job for me
Why was it so hard?
because I haven't basic in English.
Hmm.
I cannot I don't know much words in this task, and I not only read and understand. I need work this task
Hmm.
because I always work with vocabulary uh,
Yep.
several hours. It's not so easy for me, but I like this.
Well,
This
easy or not, but it's rewarding, so you do learn a lot.
I see great results for me, and it's really good. Uh,
It's very good progress, you could say.
yeah. I see.
Oh, well,
Sometimes
huh?
I want to. Hello. Well,
Hi, Olga is
I
here, okay. Sometimes, yeah, please go on. Julia, sometimes what do you want to say? Like, finish what you wanted to say. Oops. Olga is, do you have a kid on the floor?
Yeah, wait a second.
Who is that? Huh?
My son.
He can be loud. Okay, the plan for today. So make sure that you guys can see our chat. I hope you can. So today I want to review, would like to review our job applications. That's the first one. Then we will go through a job interview questions. And then I will show you one cool idea. It's called how to something, how to exercise. Because in every live session, besides just going through our collocations and talking about what we have been studying this week, then I make sure that I always bring something new to the table so that you can learn something new from me. I don't know if it's new, but I believe that whatever is brought to the table is supposed to be somewhat new, because I know that there are a lot of classic and standard ways to study a foreign language. That's why I think it's important to sharpen your vision. Because I see that you, Julie, you're trying to teach your two little kids, and it's you teach them through immersion, so that they are exposed to the real language. Yes, through a number of native speakers. Some methods are questionable, some methods are interesting, but it's always like that when it comes to teaching kids. There might be a lot of people who would say this doesn't work, this works, but I'd say that it's better than nothing. But of course, it can always be improved because, let's say, like when we teach little kids, then I guess the main point is to immerse them to like Russian. That's why, like, I personally think, like, let's say reading can wait, because anyway, kids, they're going to learn reading, so it's not even a problem. You don't need to worry about that. Yeah, but what, like, is important to put a kid in many, many, many life-related situations where the kid can learn from a native speaker, like from their mom. Just like whatever you do using Russian, so kids must do the same. Let's say if you want them to learn Chinese or Spanish, yeah, I guess that's what you would like them, and plus English, then it's the same. Like, so son, let's go to the kitchen. So right now we're going to have breakfast. Have breakfast. See, this is breakfast. I made you some porridge, like that. This is porridge. It's hot. It's cold. You describe that porridge. Okay, it's oozy. Let's say it's yummy. So you can describe the content of that porridge. Eat slowly. Take the spoon. Hold it right. Like all those things that you go through. You describe, and then a kid slowly starts. First of all, kids, they listen to, they analyze, they can connect all those images, they put them in order, and then later they can, when there is a need, because for kids, you always need to create a need. If there is no need for a person to speak, then doesn't matter, how hard you try. Kids, I'm speaking because it's based on my experience. I have a daughter, and so it's been 5 years, yeah. So 5 years ago, I started speaking only English, one parent, one language. That's the problem. But the problem is that, okay, you- let me mute somebody. Oh, okay, perfect. I can't hear anything. That's good. Make sure you use headsets. See, we all use them. Otherwise, we can hear some echoing, background noise. Yeah, and then so I've realized that okay, so it was like five. Yeah, when she turned five, I started wondering why my daughter doesn't really speak a lot, so she can understand everything clearly, just perfectly fine, but she doesn't really talk. She doesn't speak much, and then I started. I got puzzled. Like, what did I do wrong? So I provided a lot of practice. I was describing everything I could. I was not patronizing her or limiting the language. I was not babying her. Yeah, but then I understood that it was about a need. So whenever she wanted to communicate, she would just use Russian, and I would speak English. So of course, for a child, there was no need to speak English, and now I am changing that. So if she wants to get something from me, then I kind of like make her say that in English, like, okay, or I pretend that I don't understand. So like, what? What do you say? What are you talking
Uh,
about? Yeah,
yeah,
just like that.
but
Yeah.
Tim, I talk with my children. I use Maria Елисеева,
Maria, I
and
know. Hmm.
of course, yes. And I talk with my kids uh, when they are born. We talk in English every day, and my daughter and my son understand what I say, all what I say, everything. And we watch a lot of different cartoons, and I try to choose something with different words. I use only uh, educational, how to say, education cartoons.
Yeah,
Not
cartoons for
not
educational,
about
educational. Yes.
but
Mhm.
not like this. We use Blippi, for example. Blippi, it's a do you know who is it, Blippi?
Yeah, okay, but anyway, let's not get carried away. Okay, all I was trying
Okay.
to say that yeah, we're not talking about kids anyway. Just I just shared some of my experience, and I said that doesn't matter who you teach, because we are like most of us teachers, and even if you parent, you're still
Yeah,
teaching, right?
we teach with English teacher from Edinburgh several months. But I see my daughter understand all of
Okay,
this
Julie. Hmm.
but she not good teacher. I
All
don't
right, let's
like
not
her.
get into this, okay? We have another purpose to meet here, okay? So let's talk about job. That's why we're doing this, okay? We can talk about kids some other time. I love kids, but right now we need to talk about ourselves. Yeah, kids are good. Yeah, the flowers of life, whatever you call them. Yes, and painting one. Yeah, sometimes but whatever. So we love them. All right. So today's plan, I want to review some of our job collocations, okay, so that we can go through them one more time. And I will ask you to share like 1 minute story about your job experience, okay, your work experience mostly. Yes. Then we each of you will have to make three job interview questions. Hopefully, we will not cross each other on this. So I hope that you can come up with something relevant, not just like, okay, what can you do for our company? Thank you. We don't need that. We need something interesting. Okay, something that could probably be related to using some of our chunks patterns. Then I will introduce how to exercise, and I will teach you through this live session how to find collocations and chunks, how to hunt, how to look for them, so that you would be thinking in terms of uh, lexical approach, let's call it, okay? Because this method, I see it's catching up. It has been catching up lately, but still, as Dan and I clearly can see, it's still deviating from the course. Um, of course, some people might say, "Who are you, Vadim?" To talk about Hugh Deller and some big ESL superstars. But I just it's based. My idea is based on what I see. I always forget about titles and let's say what kind of experience they have. It can all be put aside because I'm trying to see what kind of results it can bring. So once you understand the results, so the results are pretty mediocre, pretty standard, then I cannot really okay, I cannot really become a fan of that guy. So to me, you need to show me what it can do, not all your titles. They don't really mean anything to me. All right. So then we will also do grammar patterns because we have been going through the score for quite a while. So we have one milestone, which is 1 month. Yeah. So we closed that. We reached that milestone, and so we will be working on some grammar patterns because you guys, we all make mistakes, right? Some of us are better, some of us worse. Okay, so we all need to learn. And since a lot of people they really ask this question, like, okay, so where's grammar in this course? Well, I will show it to you, and I think it will be quite obvious. Okay, I'm done with my monologue. So, job collocations. That's what I would like to review. And I will just copy paste the list of them because I don't know who has really reached this topic. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to share. You guys will be able to look at them. Okay. Anyway, if you're able to use our chat, I hope it's been a mystery to many participants that this live chat has a chat, or this live session has always has a chat. You can find all those locations. I just listed them. And the second thing, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what we have to go through. Okay. So let's do it now. I share. Okay, I'll bring this up a little. All right, so I guess that a lot of you have already noticed that whenever we teach or we want to learn something or want to teach somebody something, then we always need to have a certain algorithm so that we would start logically. So if we think about job, then what do we do first? What do we do second? Okay, like that. Because if you don't follow the list, let's say logical list, then it's pretty hard for a student, even for yourself, to learn because you just cannot really keep that in mind anymore. All right, so you can. I just don't know who has already reached that. Okay, I know that some of you haven't. So job search. So we look for a job, apply for a job, search for a job. Okay, to look for another job. So first of all, we have to find that. Okay, then we have to go through a series of job interviews. So somebody can call us and invite to a job interview because they really want us. You can have a headhunter uh, reaching out to you because you're such a great, experienced professional. So they really want you bad. So to have a job interview, to be interviewed, to be hired finally, and then recruited, it's another word. Okay, to land a job, get a job, that's the same. No difference. Okay, some people say land, some people say get a job. Then once you start working, then you have to think about a career. So you build your career, if it's possible. If it's not, just let's say a yes 9 to 5 yeah work where you just don't really do much. Okay, so it's working hours, the phrases that really matter when you talk about how the way you work. Okay, so then work as somebody, work at a place, because a lot of students they tend to say, and I was not the exception. Some time ago, we because it comes from Russian, we say like work in a company, but you will not find a lot of reference to support this idea, to support this. Okay, you say work at or work for, okay, yes, or you join somebody like that.
Work in, it's also possible, yeah?
You can say that, but it's just not as common as work at because you work at a place. Like I work at Google, I work for Google, I am with Google. You can also say.
Yes, but work in a hospital, work in a school, you might
Right,
say.
if it's like a place that I'm not, we're not talking like let's say about a company anymore. Like some places, yes, I work in. Yeah, tends to be more British than American, but it can also be used. I'm just saying that I gravitate towards so work at. I don't correct if a student says something, but I need to make sure that it's clear that people say work at, and so you will see this, you will hear this a lot. Work for works for anything like any company. So I work for Google. So if you say like I work in Google, like let's say if it's hospital, then yeah, I work in a hospital. Fine, okay. But so like I work in Gazprom, so it's better to say I work for Gazprom. Okay. Different problems that might arise. I go on a strike. Okay, that happens in Russia a lot because people are not paid. Yeah. And so run a department, if you can be promoted, job responsibilities, handle, manage something. It can be a problem, can be the whole department. Yes, a project, whatever you have to manage. So deal with, okay, probably that understood, or schedule arrange. You can say I have something on my schedule or my agenda. If let's say it's only for one day, then it's like, what guys, what do we have on our today's or on our agenda today? What do we need to go through, discuss, talk about, solve, resolve? Run a financial report. So all those things that probably we do not really use, like this verb. Some verbs they let's say when you use them, we're used to use them. We're used to using. We're used to using them in a pretty, I would say, one-way run. So let's say run, it's just we think about this literally, run. So I run at the park, but also you can run a company because you can think of it as if you had to make people run some parts like those beats and spare parts or bearings, like it's a kind of like a complicated machine that you make run. Return phone calls, okay, attend, so take a day off, go to business meetings, have a day off. Okay, so you can also hear a lot of people say like, let's call it a day. I also use this quite often. It's when you want to go home, and so you want to say like goodbye. Okay, so it's all game over. Okay. Next, to get a sick leave, pay attention that there's no article. So because fixed expression and doesn't need to use one. Be on maternity, paternity leave. Okay, depends on. So I know that in some countries in Europe, you can also, uh, you can go on or you can be on paternity leave. So not only mothers can do this, but fathers too. Oh, night shift for probably people who work at night. Let's say some street cleaners, yeah, security guards, and a lot of people who work at night. People at hospitals, yeah, they have shifts. Okay, so work overtime when you would like to be extra paid, and so you stay late, you stay over your time, or like you stay after 6 and so on. And I know that bosses like to do this in Russia a lot. Never happens in Finland or in some other countries. They are the countries where they really follow the code. Here, no, it's always violated. If you're exhausted, overworked, sleep deprived, the problems that you have over some time if you work a lot, and so on. Okay, then can be hard to build a career, which means you might run in some problems like nepotism. Also, it's used a lot in America. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter where you live. I mean, in Russia, yeah, we love this. So you cannot be promoted if you're not someone's nephew, or you need to have an uncle, a powerful uncle. Okay. So climb to the top of one's career ladder. Okay, so let's say you have reached the top of your career ladder. There's nothing else to do, so you want to maybe try yourself in another field. Okay. Due to different reasons, you can be fired. So can be dismissed. Also, it's another term, but probably it's more official, and it's used by authorities. Normally, people just say like you are fired, and that's it. Dismissed is also used by military ranks, people who serve their country. Yeah? So you are dismissed. It means you can go. Laid off. Okay, so financial crisis, something happens. Company cannot pay you anymore, so they have to lay you off. Though you might be a good worker, so they really love you, but they cannot keep you anymore. All right, another thing that we can see also a lot around, like to oust someone from a company. We say like подсидеть кого-то, and it happens a lot, even in school. I've witnessed it happening when an older teacher had to leave school because younger teachers they decided to oust her. Yeah, so something like that. Hand in pink slip. It's commonly used, but probably only by people who work in big companies, because otherwise people just say like you're fired. Also, you can normally it is said to you. So if you want to say something, you say like, "I would like to give you my 2 weeks notice," and that's it. So that's my 2 weeks notice. Mm, or I'm giving you 2 weeks. So also people say that. And there is a difference. Okay, make sure that you understand. So give a 2 weeks notice. It's when um, you're just leaving. I don't know, because I don't know, you don't want to work there anymore, and so resign. It can be different. It can mean that you're just old. Can mean that you might have some problems. You don't want to really. You don't want them to fire you because it can turn into a huge scandal. So that's why you resign yourself peacefully, or you are offered to resign to maintain, to uphold, to keep, or save your reputation. See, I'm trying to use different synonyms to make sure that you all understand me. Get a golden parachute. So this is like a huge compensation when, yes, I've also seen this once happening. A foreign top manager was hired, but the owner of the company didn't like him, though they had previously signed that contract. And to violate that contract, he had to give him a lot of money. So that was his golden parachute, to terminate that contract, because he could not cancel it. He couldn't terminate that without paying him a huge ransom, so to speak. To get a severance package, that's a bit different. Golden parachute, it's paid normally to top managers. And get a severance package, this is what you get because you have to leave. And let's say it's in Russia, I know it's a 2 month salary. Correct me if I'm not right, or correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I am not hired by anyone official, so that's why I don't really remember. To quit a job, so you just don't like something and you quit, so you leave. You can say quit, leave, and a certain percentage, or yeah, a certain percentage of unemployment does exist in Russia, especially in regions of Russia. I'm not talking about big cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, and so on. All right, finally, okay, so your life is almost over. You think that it's time for you to take a break so you can retire because you're too old and nobody wants you anymore. You can leave service. You can all say that, especially if you are in a 30, you're a politician maybe, or you're a military servant. Stop working. That's it. Okay, due to different reasons, you might get disabled. So you might have a certain form of disability that can also happen. Okay, let me come back. So now I just made sure that everyone is familiar with all those phrases. I'm not saying that you can remember them all, but at least you can see that how it goes logically. Okay. So, and if you want to upgrade your own level or your student's level, then you have to work in those categories. So you would just add one or more, or I don't know, 10 different variants, how to say pretty much the same. Okay. So if you continue thinking in this way, then you will become a much better teacher, I hope. Okay. All right, great. So, but you have to hunt for them. You have to find them, and this is like the most complicated part. To get rid of those that you don't need or that you can put on the shelf, you can put on a back burner, something that is unimportant yet has to wait, something like that. And then you can get back later to this because your student knows everything. Yeah. All right. Right now, okay, so you have been familiarized by me, okay, to you. Well, I don't know if you can use, but okay, let's see. So I want you to give the group. It will be 1 minute speech about your job experience, and I would like to hear about your first job experience because I'm sure it will be very short and simple. I'll give you some time. I would like you to make a list of the phrases that you are planning on using during your 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. All right, 6 minutes, basically. Don't get nervous or too excited. It's just one more casual live session. Yeah, nothing is going to happen. We're all going to survive and get back to our lives. Kids, husbands, and so on. Women's Day is officially over, so okay. So no more flowers anymore.
Sad.
You can grow your own. Okay. Well, so if you kind of like ready, then what you can do, you can clap, and that will signal, or it will be a signal. So you're ready. Okay. So everyone claps. We start. I've learned about this clapping technique from my public speaking course because it motivates others to speed up. Because whenever everyone, yes, starts clapping, you get nervous. So you understand that people are waiting for you. But if there's no any indication of any kind, then you're just continue working on your 1 minute speech. And though it's been already 10. Yeah. So, but if you clap, okay, oh, they're clapping. I got to clap too. Kind of like that. Oh, well, so what? Only Valerie? Nobody's clapping? Really? Come on, guys, clap. What's the problem? Okay, Valerie is pretty obsessed. She wants to start. Oh, you ready? Or I have to ask you?
I can.
Oh, let's start with Valerie, okay, since everyone is silent.
Okay, so actually, I'm kind of falling behind the schedule, the one that we're covering all, yeah? I'm in week 2, so I haven't got anything
Ooh,
yet.
what's the
Oh,
problem?
so I got a bit overloaded at work, so kind of. And I got my mother-in-law coming, visiting us, and just to kind of.
Just quit your
But I
job. Quit
promise,
your job.
no,
Quit your job.
I can't. I'm a teacher. But
Quit your
I
job to finish
follow
the
you.
course.
Okay, but I promise I will. Okay, so today I'm gonna start. So job. Well, I started working actually in 2008. It was my first and the only one job, just in the mid, not in the middle. I was on the fourth course at university. I was almost finishing it, and all of a sudden, I was on my trip to England. It was my third 3-week trip, and actually, the lady who organized the trip, she actually offered me a job at her private school, like a fresh teacher, a fresh new teacher, first year teacher. So I spent how many 5 years working at her school, and then I got on maternity leave. I stayed on maternity leave for 2.5 years, and then I quit. So actually, I got a kind of an ex-colleague, and she called me. She said that she's got an office, and she would be leaving soon the city, and she's got some
Okay,
students
okay.
to
1 minute.
take care. She had some students to take care, and actually, I kind of substituted her, and now I'm on my own. I'm a
Okay.
tutor. That's
All
it.
right. That's what I was saying. Okay, so you guys, you better take notes because you will have to come up with 3 questions, 2 or 3 questions. Okay, and you will have to ask. I would like you to use some of those collocations to pose a question for each speaker. Okay, so I guess you will remember, yes,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Valerie's experience, where she had to
Yeah.
go, what she did, and so on. Okay. All right. Okay.
So
First of all, we're going to listen to all stories. Make sure that you take notes. Otherwise, you're not going to remember anything. Come on, ladies. Let's get organized. There's a huge problem in Russia with people getting organized.
okay, who's next, guys?
Olga is ready. Okay, I see.
Okay, so let me start.
Go.
The story of my career isn't so much interesting. I think I'm still in the process of searching for a good job. So I've never applied for a job, as I was always offered a job by my friends or by the people who I know. So the first job was when I was a student. I got a part-time job at a private school, and I worked as an English teacher. I just then I graduated from university, and I was on a maternity leave. I was on maternity leave, but I was still giving private lessons, and I worked for a company, UPS. It was my second job, but it was just the job. I can't see the time. It was my friend's proposal. Then I worked at college and at university as well. The council of university wanted me to run a department of law and get a PhD. And I worked for university for 4 years, but last year I decided to stop working at university. So I quitted this job, and right now I work as a tutor.
You said quit it.
Yeah. No. I didn't want to say quit it.
What did you want?
I can't say that I was fined. Yes, I quitted this job. Can I
No,
say
no,
so?
no. I am the only question. I just have quitted or quit.
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 Okay, that's a
Wait
common.
a second.
What? Wait a second. Okay, we'll give you some time to process this thought. Okay, I understand. It might come as a shock. It's a shocking experience to realize that quit. The second form of quit is actually quit again.
Quit.
It's
Yeah.
regular.
Yeah,
just quit it. Okay, so yeah, you have like I have quitted. Okay, that would be okay, but
I just wanted to say that I have quitted, but I was a bit puzzled when you asked me this question, because I thought that maybe I wasn't right in choosing this verb, because we can't say that I was laid off, of course. We can't say that I was fined, or I'm sorry, I got fired. I can say that I quit. I've quitted. Yes,
Yeah,
why
you
not?
can. Yeah, I'm just saying that people always say like quit, 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 and it's easy. Okay, some verbs, what they do, they kind of like change. So it's learned, dreamed, instead of like
Yeah,
dreamt, and so on. I see that for people probably it's easier, especially Americans. Americans they love doing this, and so. But yeah, I'm just
but
saying
still
that
it is possible to say quit it.
yes, you can, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
people say commonly used.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
don't be sorry, just learn. Okay, we because I don't have enough stories, for you to guys to offer. All right. Anyway, so you were really jotting down everything, jotting down,
Yeah,
like writing down. Yeah.
yeah, of
Okay.
course.
I like when I work with a very active group of people. Okay, makes me happy. Okay, great. So Julia Guskova would like to start. I see the fire in her eyes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go, go.
Okay, 4 years ago, I worked
Julia Guskova. Hold on a sec. Who's Julia Guskova?
me.
I am.
I know only one Julia Guskova. Guskova?
Oh, no,
Guskova.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, it's not
I
my
managed to
name.
learn her last name.
Mhm.
All
I'm
right,
Julie.
sorry.
I'm ready.
Go
Okay.
on.
When I graduated from university, I started look for a job, and I was offered a job in Ministry of Sports and Physical Culture of the Republic of Moldova. I took part in the preparation of athletics for the Olympic Games, and they received silver and gold medals. And I was so proud it, but a few years after was interrupted an anti-doping scandal, and I was laid off. I started to look another job, and all most of people was quit this job from this job. We work really hard. We work 24/7 sometimes, and we work as a teacher. We work with little kids and prepare them for sports games, different sports games. We work
Okay,
over.
okay, we got to stop. All right, that's good. Okay, there's one more thing I see that we all need to work on. And I think we did not really work with collocations enough. What do I mean by that? Because the mistakes that you guys tend to make, and I'm not an exception, I understand that. It's not enough reading those collocations. Like, okay, in your case, Julie, you had to say look for,
Look
but he didn't
for.
say for. Okay, you say like look job. Okay, so make sure that they stick. Like, okay, or yes, so they stick like a sticker. So they stay with you. hmm So I'm saying that one time is not enough, or let's say even 10, because what you need to do to be able to do, you need to just use them without even thinking. Like, look for a job, look for a job. Okay, so hey, hi son, I think it's time to look for a job. Okay, it's enough staying at home. Okay, I cannot provide for you anymore. You're too dependent. You're too clingy. You're a moocher. You're 20 years old, and I cannot buy you a remote control cars anymore. So go get yourself. Go get it yourself. So work on those collocations. Okay, practice more because what I see, I don't want mistakes. I don't want mistakes, or at least within those collocations. No, I understand grammar and that. Yes, you need more time when it connects sentences. I also understand that's complicated. But okay, collocations, that's the easiest part. You just look at them, or you practice. You read a lot. Oh, guys, okay. For 1 week, you read them, let's say 10 times a day, and they will stay in your mind. You still need to draw those pictograms. You hate them, you don't like them, you don't have a talent for drawing. I don't care. You have to do this because it works. I have to speak like an American boss to you. Yeah, because otherwise you would not listen. Yeah, too nice, too gentle. Nah, it's not taking you anywhere. So read them, goddamn, read them 20 times a day. Just read, okay? All you have to do is just read, 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 read. So trust me, okay? If you start reading a poem and you read this like 20 times a day, by the end of the week, you're going to remember that poem. It works. Even those songs, they're very stupid, but they're still very catchy. So, right? What happens? Okay, they play it for you. I don't know, 1 million times, and then over some time you can sing along. What you did for that? Nothing. You were just driving a car. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay, you can ask your honey, hubby, okay, habibi, whatever, whoever you have there around you. So, hey, please, can you check on me? Uh, and okay, so искать работу. Look job. No, try again. Look for a job. Yes, great. Get a candy, whatever, or get a smile, a puzzle, a kiss from me, whatever motivates you. I don't care. So do that, okay? So no mistakes and collocations. Come on, we have to clear that. All right, great. All right, Kate. Okay, just to bring you up to speed, so you understand what we're talking about today. We have a certain agenda today. Agenda. You're familiar with this term. So right now we're working on 1 minute story about your first job, not your first sexual experience, because I know you work with people. I mean, you don't know, but Kate, she's a doctor. Okay, she helps people to get back on track with their whatever. Okay, that reproduction part. Yes, yeah. So I want first job experience. Okay. So start thinking about that. The collocations already in our chat. So if you can open it, it will be great. All right, next. All right, Julia, sorry, my darling. Okay, now getting back to you. Whew.
I worked for early learning center 4 years ago, and it was lovely job because I worked with little kids. It was rather demanding, but I really liked this job. But I had a very strict boss, and she was. She sometimes she could grounded us without any purpose, and after 2 years wanted to exchange my job, and I quit this job, and I started to search for another job, and I applied for another job, and I started to work. Okay, good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's why we have this timer, this stopwatch, so that you can organize your thoughts better. All right.
Yeah, I have my own speed, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm not saying that everybody has to speak as fast as I can do this. No, people are different. All right, there's one more thing. Okay, so if you are not sure what to say, you can always downgrade. That's what I do. I do that too. If I cannot have a very brilliant phrase, it doesn't pop up or it doesn't spring to mind. So I have to downgrade and say something very simple. So you can say like, I left that company. About you, Julian.
Mhm.
I left that company.
Mhm.
And your boss, what did she do, or he?
She grounded us without any purpose.
She would, okay. She would punish you, yes?
Yes, and sometimes screamed, yelled at us.
Okay. So punish, because ground we use for kids only.
Okay.
Otherwise, that would be a very interesting company to work for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would just call your husband, I'm grounded, I cannot come home.
Because I think that this phrase we can.
Okay, that's a good notion. So I guess I have to add something explanatory. Just okay, this is only for kids. This is only for kids. Do not talk about yourself. So punish. We say punish. Okay, punish. Punish. Yeah, she would punish us. She would deprive. Is another good word. Deprive of something.
Deprive. Sorry.
Yeah. Downgrade. So punish, or she would not give us something, because punishment is a form of not giving, restricting, yet limiting you at some point. All right, great. Whoo, great. Then we can get back to another Julia. She's very lonely there, sitting, watching us. You ready?
Okay, yes.
Go.
I started my first work after the fourth year of education. I was looking for a job in pharmacy, and first time I applied for a job on the website, and I offered a job. I worked as a pharmacist I worked as a pharmacist as a night shift, and it was hard for me for the first time because I didn't have enough knowledge about medicines, and I should to learn a wide range of medicines, how to work with them, how to work with prescriptions, and how to check prescriptions. I learned how to keep medicines, and it was my first working.
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's all.
Take your breath. Okay. Catch your breath, okay, or take a deep breath. All right, that's it. That's it. Okay, that's good. Okay, I like how you changed, like how you corrected yourself. You want to say don't, but then didn't. So to me,
Yeah.
that's very important. I see that as a as a good sign of some kind of progress, because if you can analyze your mistakes and then you can kind of like roll back, rewind, and then say it again, it means that you already understand. You are aware what you're saying. Yeah. All right. One more thing. Okay. So since you're going through this, make sure that in your mind, whenever you have to give, let's say, 1 minute story, then you have a clear structure of what you're going to be talking about. And it's important that you think about how you start, what you're going to say, like your let's say the main story, yes, the main thing, what's the purpose of that story, and how you're going to finish. So if you can see this clearly, you can see the end of your story, because I see that for a lot of people it's very hard to finish when they're running out of time. So make sure that you can see that end. Maybe sometimes you have to limit yourself, you do not say a few things. Yeah, and if you follow the structure that we have in this topic, then you will see that first of all, you have to look for that job, you have to find that, yes. Then you had maybe a very difficult job interviews, they didn't want to hire you. There were other candidates that were better than you, but you did something, I don't know what, you showed your red diploma, and yeah, they gave you that job. Okay, or you were more communicative, let's say, yeah, or the boss real liked your dress. I don't know, whatever helps. You never know. Okay, so next, okay, Kate, finally getting back to you, and then there's one more speaker. Yeah, Kate, you ready?
Yes.
Kate is always ready. You don't need to ask. Okay, go.
Yes, my first professional experience was in a private medical clinic, and I learned how to communicate with patients, how to manipulate, and how to work in unlimited conditions of private medicine. And nobody deprived, punished, or limited me. And very soon I understand that I solved that I want to get urologist specialization, and I went to Moscow to change my profession. And firstly, I was a doctor as dermatologist, and then I went to the Moscow Medical University and the third medical university, and changed my profession to urologist. And then I proceeded my professional experience as a Moscow doctor.
Okay, that's good. That was good. Okay, you're still working on those questions. You're writing everything down, whatever is important, so that later you guys can ask some questions. Because I will come collect. I will come collect and I will reclaim that. Okay. Oh wow. So you need to unmute yourself, Mariana. Yes. Yeah. Okay. You need to unmute yourself. There is if you want to speak, you need to unmute yourself. Yeah, there is on the top in the center. You will see there will be a sliding menu. It's drop down menu. Okay, we can hear you because I can hear myself.
Shall I start? Also, so I had different jobs, part-time jobs. I worked as a waitress. Then in America, I worked in the stockroom of Benetton. But then I decided to graduate from university. When I was fresh out from university, I decided to become a teacher. Then I was looking for the job. I got the job. I had some interviews, and I landed finally the job. And I have been working for language courses for about like 10 years maybe, but when I get problems with my health, so I started getting sick leaves, and then I went on maternity leave, and they suddenly, for no obvious reason, they laid me off. So they, yes, they fired me, and that's how I started looking for something else. So I've been unemployed for at least 3 years officially, and then I found a job at the nearest school, and I'm a teacher at the school, but I'm dreaming of teaching kids. That's it.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me mute you again. Okay, getting back to normal sound. Yes, great. So now it's time we start asking questions. Make sure that you use one of those collocations if you want to ask somebody. Okay, so let's see how it works. Well, why don't we just start with Valerie, because Valerie did this. She was the first one.
Okay.
You need to name a person.
Okay, the person I'm gonna ask is gonna be. Okay, let it be Olga, because she was the second. If she doesn't mind.
Remember. Okay. Go.
Okay. So actually. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay,
to you.
actually, as I got it, yeah, you have already had kind of a 4 places of work, yeah? Am I right? 4.
Let me count. Yeah.
Okay, no,
Maybe,
just
yeah.
I was making notes actually. Yes.
Yeah.
And as for the first place where you actually applied, you said that it was a kind of a part-time job. Did you teach kids?
Yes, I taught kids.
Did you work at school?
It was a
you
private.
said it was.
Yes, it was a private school where I taught kids. Yeah.
So what? And the kind of how many interviews? How many job interviews have you gone through?
I didn't have any interviews, just because the professor of my university, she knew me quite well from our classes. That's why she offered me this job. It was the school where she taught as well.
Ah, so actually
she was the head of the school. That's why she offered me this job.
So she actually, you were acquainted, yeah? So, she was an acquainted of yours.
Okay, how many questions? That's it?
One more question.
Okay.
So, another question. So, university for years, it was your last job, yeah? You had been teaching students at university, am I right?
Yeah, for 4 years. Mm-hmm.
For 4 years. So, what kind of faculty did you work for? What was it?
It was law faculty.
Law, okay. So, did you like it? Did you like to teach law students?
Of course. I like students. I like kids. I like children. I like working with people.
Okay, would you like to get back there? I mean,
no.
Would you? No.
No.
Okay.
Not now. Yeah, everything was quite all right. The council of the university wanted me to get a PhD degree and so do some research work and just do the things and run a law department. Just do the things which I don't like. I mean, I like working with students. I like lessons,
process.
whatever.
Okay.
Yes, this process is just the thing I really enjoy, but not all those running departments and meetings and just.
Okay, girls.
Whatever.
Okay, working on this.
Good.
Yeah, we're pressed for time here.
Okay.
That's good.
I have one more question.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so next, Olga.
Okay, Olga.
Yeah. I just, to tell the truth, I wanted to ask Valerie just a
Okay.
few questions. Yeah, you say that you are at UT right now. It's not connected with our collocations. I'm sorry, Vadim, but I really want to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of this job.
Being a tutor, you mean?
Yeah. Are you officially employed?
No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not officially employed. I have been once, but actually, after I quit, I realized that I need to start my own business, like a startup or something. But I'm still thinking, I'm in two minds what to do. So, but actually, learning, this is a kind of a process of teaching and learning at the same time, because I'm learning to handle all this stuff, arrange the timetable, communicate with parents and teaching at the same time, and a kind of a multitasking thing. And I'm enjoying it. So I like it anyway. And probably next year I'm gonna be kind of officially employed. This is my next aim, to be officially employed.
Would you like to hire somebody among those people?
I am still thinking about it, because I've got some students of my own who are kind of they are asking my questions. So would you like to have students to help you? I say, oh, why not? Probably. So now I am.
We have a lot of candidates.
Yeah.
So come on.
Definitely.
Just pick.
Yay.
After they finish the course, okay, not now.
Yeah, why not? So actually, working online is also one of my aims, but actually, I find it quite complicated right now. So, juggling motherhood and my private classes, my lessons, and online lessons, I don't think that I can manage it. But anyway, this is the next step.
Okay, next step. Okay, great. Next step is another person. Okay, great. We did two. So why don't we just, Julia Gusko is not here anymore. Okay, so then we're going to Julia. Julia is going to ask questions. Julia, who's from Ukraine. Julia, okay.
Yeah, me. Yes.
Okay. What do you want to ask?
I would like to ask the last speaker. Sorry, but I didn't know your name.
You mean Valerie?
No, not Valerie, the last speaker.
Of the list.
Okay. You mean Mariana?
Yeah,
Mariana.
With the kid next to her.
Right. You need to unmute yourself, because I always mute you. There's some noise coming from you.
Is that okay?
Maybe I have a strange question, but have you ever showed your diploma?
Could you repeat that, please?
Maybe you shouldn't. You need to fix your audio, okay? Let's just pick another one, because it's just impossible, okay? Hey, Mariana, you need to make sure that there's no sounds coming from you, okay? So if you have a computer next to you, and plus you're using that headset. So see, we all use headset, and there's no any other sources of audio, okay? So I use this. This one is plugged in my computer. Okay, so that's why. But if I unplug it, you will start hearing what you guys are saying. You understand how it works? Okay, make sure that you fix that. Some students have this at the very beginning. Okay, all right, Julie, you will have to ask somebody else, because we just cannot tolerate the noise anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay. Maybe Yulia. Okay, may I ask Yulia?
Yeah, Yulia's ready. Okay, she's sitting on her couch.
Yes, I have maybe a really strange question, but I would like to ask, have you ever showed your diploma? Because I never showed it, and that's why I asked, because maybe someone also be in the same situation as me.
All right, Julia. Julia, that is sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's not even moving, okay? I guess she's puzzled. Okay, finally
Okay.
she's back.
I forgot that.
Yes,
Yes, I understand your question. I always show my diploma because it is needed for our job. We can't job without special
Cannot work, okay?
certificate, and it is very necessary. every. But when I got my first job, I didn't show it. I was a student, so they know that I finished 4 year of education, and this was the only one when I got job without a diploma.
Okay, sounds right. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Only one question. Okay, great, saving a lot of time. Thank you. Okay, so then Julia, why don't you ask somebody?
Uh,
Yeah, it's you. Well,
okay, I want to ask question to Kate.
just say like, I want to ask
Kate.
Kate. I want to ask Kate.
I want to ask Kate. She didn't answer the questions. Oh, I want to know why did she decide to change her qualification in medicine?
I understand. Because to be dermatologist means to solve many dermatologist questions. And my professional focus was on combined sexual problems, which was connected with sexual health. I'm in inflammation, I'm in infections, I'm in different chronic diseases, and this is combined region between dermatovenerologist and urologist specialization. And today I work as a urologist more than dermatovenerologist, and even more as a sexologist right now.
Okay, great. All right, Julia, are you satisfied?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to ask? Maybe somebody else? We have a lot of people to torture. Julia, you're done? Anything else?
No.
Okay, I like it. Julia's so quiet. Okay. Just don't be shy. Okay, nobody's gonna bite you. We're too far away from each other anyway. All right, great. Then I guess okay, Kate. Okay, so why don't you ask somebody? Use one of
I
those locations.
I have no questions because I missed some interview, and I understand that you all are teachers and only me, I'm doctor.
It doesn't matter. We're all students here. Okay, treat everyone as a student, not as a teacher. Right now, they're students. I am a teacher here.
I'm very
They're
bad
a student.
student. I miss 7 or 10 days of my studying, and today I will hurry to be in time.
Okay, well, because otherwise we'll have to punish you. You don't want to be punished.
Nobody can punish me. Only me can. Only I can. I really don't have free time.
All right, well, we have to manage it somehow, okay? Because, like, yeah. All right. Anyway, get into the second part, okay? So the second part is how to exercise. So right now we'll have to share. Oh yeah, right now I would like you to get prepared for this. To get prepared, what I mean by that, you would use maybe a card. What I do when I have to get ready for, because some of you probably have, some of you have already seen my stories and what I try to do. I'm trying to teach people through my stories. Well, it's free, it's affordable. Okay, you don't need to pay, just watch and like. Okay, yeah, but I have to get ready for each story. So because some words and phrases I need to double check to make sure that I can say them and the way I'm going to say. So I use just paper cards. I buy thick paper. It's a drawing paper. It's drawing paper. Yes. And then what I do, I just cut this in many parts and many pieces. And then if I need to work on a task, I just write something here and there. And now and then I become like one of those TV hosts, like let's say Malakhov. Yes, you can see that on the show. They use those cards. Okay, next question. Okay, so works pretty well. I'm just sharing what I do, what I use. Yeah, and it keeps you organized. So, how to exercise is based on you. Is based on you finding those collocations. So let's say, because today's topic is about job. So it's all about job. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Google, and then I'm going to share my screen with you. So how to find a perfect job. And there are a lot of websites. Okay, hold on a sec. Just in a second, I will share. Okay, a few websites. So one of them, which is very good, it's WikiHow, and another one is how stuff works. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay, sharing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what you want to do, you just go to Google, and then you want to find some articles. I guess you can see it, yeah? Right, right? Say yes. Okay, thank you. All right, so what do? You try to find a few articles that you can go through, like how to find the one perfect job. So what I do, I just open that, and then I have to go through, I read. So, and I see that already to search a new job, to find a perfect job. Yeah. And I look for verbs and nouns. Then see like the first step towards finding a perfect job. So find a perfect job. Then what I do, I take one of those cards that I just showed you, and then I write it down. So I write down all the collocations I need, but of course it is based on categories like here, see, job. Okay, so job search, that's the first one. The first thing I need to think of, I need to make a clear structure, a structure that I will be able to use for those collocations, phrases, fixed expressions, whatever I can. So another one, let's say here. Yeah. And so like looking for a new job. And why I wanted to do that, not only I want to show you that it's a very good tool, how to something. I say like how to something, how to exercise, because you can use it for yourself as a student. You can also use it as a teacher, because you can ask one of your students like, so how do you get to school? Let's say, yeah, or how do you? But it has to be something something relevant, not like how do you love somebody, and then what? No, I can't say anything. I don't know, because you always get that answer. I don't know. I don't remember, because that's what kids usually say. I don't know. So to avoid such things, you ask what is related to them. So how do you play that game? Like, what do you do first, second, third, okay? And you get, let's say you can use a bullet list, you can use just numbered list, because you're teaching a student or yourself how to follow a certain order. Again, it's about getting organized. So once you understand what categories you need to have, you start looking for some collocations or chunks, like looking for a new job. And you will always use it as like this. So looking for a new job. So do you want to look for a new job? Do you want to find a new job? Okay. And you see like to start a job search. Another one. Because this is how people speak. So did you start a job search? Okay. Or have you started looking for a new job when they talk to each other? I see like another one, people, bosses, companies who want to interview you, let's say. And the next one, get hired. So what can I do? What can I do to get hired? What do you want me to do to get hired? What do I have to go through to get hired? Are there any requirements for getting hired fast? See how I'm making those questions, yeah? And then you just go like 10 steps to take, can take to find, see like steps you can take. That's another pattern. You need to train your eye how to find those patterns, those cliche phrases, yeah, whatever you call them, chunks, locations, okay? You can even create your own name. I don't care. Because if you study English in this particular way, you will see how fast you will speak fluently, how fast you'll be able to reach this great fluency level. Then you will not need to construct your own sentences, which are based on your Russian, based on Russian, based on Russian. So you just use those little chunks, and you build a sentence. There are a lot of steps you can take. Like, see, there are 10 steps you need to take to get rid of this disease. Let's say we're talking about Kate, and she's a doctor. Yeah, there are a few steps you will have to take. Blah blah. All right, and there are 5 steps that you need to take to get a visa. You need to get a visa to Ireland, or Irish visa. Yes. I just know some people here. Okay, so next, look for a job and see they're being repeated again and again and over again. So when you work with students, you can come up with those phrases, those patterns, those chunks. Okay, so this is one, and then we have WikiHow here. It's a great website, how to do anything. Why I like WikiHow? Because WikiHow has steps. Like, so let's say job. So I need to find whatever is related to how to find an airport career job. So see, 4 ways to make money fast without a job. Those can be some topics to discuss, or at least again to find the phrases. 3 ways to get a job with no experience. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then you go volunteer. Okay, so because you're developing work experience, volunteer in a position related to your desired field. So volunteer again. See, you have to volunteer in a position related to me. This is a chunk. I can use it anytime, any day. Yeah, you want to work for a charity organization. First of all, my son, you have to volunteer in a position related, or volunteer in a position you like. So I can change that. Okay, like to struggle to get a job, so you cannot find that. That's another pattern. Some patterns, they will be cross mat, so you will see them everywhere. Yeah, so we call them, Lynn and I, we call them general, like commonly used. So which they can be used for any topic. Like, for example, struggling to get something, struggling to do something. Okay, I am struggling to let's say to get back with my husband. I'm struggling to explain to my son that let's say it's difficult to make money, or whatever, to study better. Okay, so again and again and again, work with articles. You can also use some dictionaries, like collocation dictionaries. Can't really say that they work pretty well, because they're pretty, I'd say, clogged. Okay, so let's say work. And here you will see, like, it's not very easy. Okay, probably only for teachers, I guess. So work hard, but you have phrases there. Okay, I'll bring this up. It's hard. It's hard work trying to get him to do a few things. It's hard work going there. It's hard work. Like, this is a pattern to me. Yeah, and as you go down, you will see that there are verb, work, carry out, synonyms. So collocation dictionaries, they do exist. I can't really say that they're very super helpful, but at least they can give you some kind of idea. If you need to work on a topic, or if you need to get, let's say, okay, maybe, let's say, okay, like Kate, because Kate, she's not a teacher, yes? So maybe she has examined somebody, like, see, look at somebody. Let's say she has a patient, and so the first thing she needs to do, she needs to carefully look at that person, yes, in every detail, examined. And again, verb, examine, aim to, be designed, seek to, set out. Okay, so you need to make sure that you need to find what works for you, because examine has a lot of meanings, but I guess you understand the general idea. Let us examine your hand, or let's examine your stomach, okay, your stomach area, your thighs, whatever, okay, your butt, okay, I don't know, whatever you want to examine. Yeah. So see cross-examination also. That's a good way. That's a good way. And this is what I do. Another very good thing I wanted to show you, if you go to YouTube, there is how to find a job. Okay, what I did, okay, see this thing, it works. How it works, okay, how to, it means you will have some subtitles. You see captions, closed captions. Okay, what I do here, I let's say open this thing, and
So
then
you've optimized your LinkedIn.
we're not going to listen to her, but there's subtitles that I want to use. And when I go here, I see that it's not auto-generated, so it was provided by her. Yeah. So I believe there must be somewhat correct. And because articles, it's one way, but you have to read there, and there's no video help. But here, I see that there is text. And then, okay, yeah, what I can do here, there's another thing. Options, and yeah, you can change. Well, that's not important, but with some of them you can even, oh, I know how to do this. Keep. So if you get this link, so you can get, let's say, okay, to get sub or turn into text, and you can transcribe them. That's what I wanted to show you today too, because working with context. So basically, I have that link here, and so it's English. So let's see how it works. Okay, the entire. Let's say it's up to 10. Well, there's no timer. Okay. All right, some websites, okay, there are a lot of them. Okay, not only this one will work, but okay, let's say it's 60. I think that should work. Okay, I will find another one because there are a lot of them. So basically, the idea is when you just get that text because video is good, but you want to get the text. And okay. Yeah, this is what you want. Okay, so there's even some Chrome extension you can get. So basically, you can turn that text, but I really want to do this with you. So, okay, automatically transcribe. Okay, let's try this one. That's the same link. Okay, YouTube into text. Got that somewhere. Okay. Convert. Oh, maybe I can send you the link later. Okay, don't want to waste time right now, but maybe this one will work. Okay, but you, I think, understand. Okay, so and video. Let's say I'll find that later. Okay, because I have it somewhere. So going back to you guys. All right, so the main idea is so that you find that text, because it's very hard for us to get real context. And when you prepare the materials or you want to study yourself, then you need to look at something. And when you can get the text, you can read what people say. So it's even good for Kate. Let's say if I had to get ready for some kind of conference on, I don't know, how to treat scrotum problems. Scrotum, we know, Kate, yeah? Scrotum. Scrotum, yeah, scrotum problems, okay, or your crotch, okay, I guess crotch, okay, yeah. And there will be a lot of doctors all over the world looking at me, listening to me, how well I can use my vocabulary. So I would go to YouTube and I would use that thing. Um, I'm going to share the thing with you, so you can know how what you need to type. Okay, it's in our chat. This is a special command. So like quotation marks, how to find, let's say a job, then quotation marks again, comma, and then CC. So CC, they stand for closed captions. And once you get the text, you can just copy that link of that video, find a website. Okay, I will give you the website. I just need to, it's somewhere in my bookmarks. And then you can get the text. So you can read that text and you can, again, take out those collocations and phrases that you need to learn them. And once, let's say like Kate, she's flying to Barcelona to give a speech on scrotum problems. So she can already use that particular vocabulary that she cannot come up with herself, because like there are no books, no materials. It's very hard. It's very specific. Okay, it's even too long. So, and then she can read, let's say, 3 videos on that, on scrotum problems. Read, I'm saying read, not only watch. She can highlight the phrases she needs, and then voila, okay, she can talk about that. So I wanted to use this method. It's really effective. It's working. Not many teachers use that because probably they're not, you need to have some kind of technical background. That's what I have, and so I know how to find those things. This is what I wanted to tell you today, so that you always look for phrases. Okay, and so grammar patterns. Speaking about grammar patterns, okay, the last thing for today, because when, let's say, you work with a student or you want to study it yourself, then grammar can be just broken into patterns, like I was, I will be, I am. Yeah, you already understand that it's about tenses. So you can have a text, you can make a table, yeah, and then a student has to. You will actually have this exercise next week, because we've got a lot of stories already, and you will have to fill that table with those patterns, and you will need to explain what they mean. Well, not explain, just like to indicate, like I was. Okay, so describing things in the past. Yes, about myself. I was married, I was single, I was young, I was a doctor, I was a nurse. Yes, I was happy, I was tired, I was, let's say, in a club last week, and that's it. So this is already a pattern. You don't need to learn it. When we used to be verbs in the past, no. This is it doesn't work. Just like, how can I use it? Teach me. I was. If you were to study another language, let's say maybe Italian, you would do exactly the same. It works. I don't know. Let's say mi piace. Mi piace is like I like something. So, or vuoi pagare. So vuoi, it's like I would like. And if I say vuoi, I can use that as a pattern, like vuoi pagare con carta di credito per favore. So vuoi pagare, and then I can use another verb, vuoi, and then it will work. It only changes when I use another gender, let's say. But again, it's a pattern. Okay, so you need to see the pattern system, not the rules so much. So when you study it yourself, like let's say when Kate talks, she makes mistakes, and I can hear that some patterns, she hasn't really been training a lot. Like I was, maybe they were. People say like they was, instead of they were. Yeah. So it means they need to read that a lot. They were. Okay. Then you can give them this exercise where they would have to find those patterns in the text. And if you can point out to a student or to yourself that, oh, why here it's was, were. Okay. So what is changing? What does it mean? You can see that. If you can see that clearly, then you will be able to understand grammar, because this is all grammar. That's it. Grammar, it's only patterns. Patterns are, that's it, some rules. All right. Have any questions today? Ask me. Otherwise, let's get our hands on week number 7, because, wow, time flies. 12 weeks we have. So 5 more weeks to go. and then we will be crying and so on. Crocodile tears, I guess. Any questions, or you're tired, you're exhausted, and you want to leave me? No question.
One question. As far as
Okay.
I understood, you've shared some material or whatever, screenshot. Where did you send it? In this chat? Because I haven't.
What kind of
I haven't.
screenshot?
This is what I wanted to ask you when you explained us how to work with the video files. You told us that you will share some material, or maybe I didn't understand you correctly. Okay, if I didn't.
Video
So
file.
where-
Okay. Yeah. I understand that. Well, I will give you a link. I will give
you will do
I will
it,
give
yeah?
you a link, yes, and a website where
because
you can transcribe
I understand.
any
Yeah.
YouTube video so that you get the text. So you don't see it yourself.
Yeah, I
You don't sit
understand.
down and then copy everything. You get the text. Because what I do, I try to only watch videos that have those provided captions. And let's say it's about traveling. Then I read like 10 times, and then it's already here. I mean, I can already say that. All right, guys, let's talk about travel. Today we're going to inspect, or we're going to look over a big cruise liner. So let's board. Yeah, let's get on board. I will show you around. Okay, this is my cabin. Like I can, because I read a lot, all those, but it's real life language. It's not like in the books. Yeah, because that's different. Yes, I have been puzzled by the idea. It's too complicated. Okay, we don't need that. So I read because this is what people say, and then it helps me a lot to speak better. First of all, then I highlight the collocations that I can use, not only speaking about traveling, but general ones. Yes. So let's say I faced with something. I faced with a problem that I could not pay for something. Okay, so I had to pay in cash. I had to pay. I had to pay cash. Like those things. That's what I'm talking about. If we just because how many years have you guys been studying what English? 10, 5, I don't know. Yeah, a lot. Okay, so you need to systematize those things. We all want to speak better. We want our students to speak better. And that's what I'm trying to teach you here. Okay, I'm getting thirsty. So thank you very much for being with us. Okay, thank you very much for being with us. Okay, use, apply. Do not just dwell on the ideas I give you. Put them in work immediately, at once. Okay, right away.
Tomorrow.
No, today.
Today. Let's do today.
I don't need tomorrow, man. Okay, tomorrow, man. Superman, tomorrow, man.
Right now, Valina, right now.
Yeah, I'm like Scarlett O'Hara, I'll think about it tomorrow. Something like that. Okay, actually, there's one more thing about Vadim, you told us about this link that you're going to share. The one that it's on my mind, just the thing that I actually recommend my students, it's Youglish. Do you use it?
Youglish, what does it do?
Youglish, it actually helps my students to know how to pronounce the word they don't know. For example, if you are interested in pronunciation, a kind of a word you find tricky, because some students say that it's different. I heard a difference. Okay, let's check it. So I find it in Youglish. It's right, Uglish, and you put in the word, and it randomly shows you the videos and the minute it shows. Yeah. So actually, probably it'll be helpful to some of our students as well. To some of my co-students.
I have already shared.
Thank you.
I have already shared this already. Yeah, I know Youglish. Yes, yeah.
It's good.
I've come across this a few times because it gives you a part of that video. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's Youglish. There's another one. I think it's Yarn or something like that. It's very good. Yeah, yarn. I guess.
Share, please.
Share. Yeah. What you can do there, I'll show you real fast, and then we can all go. Get back to. Okay. Start share. Okay, you can see. See here, like for example, I want to check if that phrase is valid. So, look for a job. That's what I also do sometimes. And then I can see so can I get any results? Let's say I can see some very popular, well, let's famous films like Eyes Wide Shut. I'm looking for a job. Yeah, and then I go listen to that if I need. Yeah.
Okay, it's yarn, yeah.
Yeah, and another one that you were saying, yes,
Yeah.
English. So let's say I don't know how to say. I don't know, cross-examine.
Coincidence.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
Or well, something more. Okay.
Easy.
Well, I don't know how to spell it anymore. Okay. So let's say we do this one. Conscience. One of. See how many results you get.
Yep.
And what I like about that, it will just go on continuously.
Mm-hmm.
Conscience. And then next one, and then next. Yeah.
Next to the next one.
Yeah, and then next. See, like it's based on those closed captions, like I told you, and so on, and just go on. Yeah, this is a very good one. Yarn is also good because what you can do here, you can even make your own video clips. So let's say there are a lot of videos. And you can also check, by the way, some of our collocations. Let's say which one. Okay, maybe I want to quit a job.
No.
And then yeah. Or you remember somebody said quit it? Yes, that was
somebody. Yeah.
Did I spell it correctly? Quit it, yeah?
Yes, I think.
So let's say, and this is what I checked. Maybe it might be correct. Yes. Yeah, I spelled, yeah, that's correct. Yes, quit it. Yeah. And so quit my job. Maybe I said it like, I quit my job yesterday, yeah? And I don't see that. Okay, maybe, okay. So I have quit my job. Again, I have to quit. Have to. So I do a search. Have what I get only one result. So to me, it means that maybe it's correct, but it's not common. So why would I learn something that nobody says, or maybe only fewer people say? You see what I mean? Yeah. So it's important to say what I have to quit. Okay. So and then if we get back to this and we say like, okay, I quit my job. Okay. So okay. Let's see. Okay. And that's it. Okay. Okay, maybe not yesterday, but some time ago. I don't know. Maybe
last year.
Last year, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But this is what I do. This is how I check. Okay. So maybe some time for quite some. Yeah. But anyway, you see, like, quit my job, and you will see this. You will see that that's what people say when they talk about past. Yeah. What happens in Vegas? Okay, you know this film. But
what happens in Vegas? Stays in Vegas. Yeah.
I quit my job because I want to be with you. Okay. So, okay. A lot of ideas for you for, I guess, for 1 week.
Yeah, brainstorming.
Yeah. All right. Right now we just have to say goodbye, so we have to go back to our lives. All right, come on, guys. You need to be motivated. I was thinking, would you actually appreciate maybe some kind of videos for me that I would share some videos with you? I don't know, me just talking about a topic, or maybe a short story from my life where like, oh, you know, when I was down and depressed, you know what helped me? Okay, guys. And you would just watch this, cry with me. And
Even if this in this high pitched voice, it would be
Yeah,
better. Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
and then you're like, oh, so Vadim did this, so can I? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you need this. That's why I'm asking. Lena says that it's a good idea to motivate, and yes, I'm looking for the right motivation because it can be like, do it, come on. But that's too manly. Probably doesn't work for women pretty well because you're different creatures.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, girls, you can do it. If you can't give birth to a child, this is nothing.
Oh, come on.
I have to like compare. Yes, I have to compare. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because this is the most kind of like I think the most painful experience, and this one is easy. You just sit down and study.
That's right.
For some of you who do not have kids, you can talk to your moms, and I'm sure they will explain it to you. All right. Anyway, have a great weekend. So see you around. I will share some videos. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.